Welcome back to KK's Quilt Studio. Today we're going to talk about drawing a motif in EQ8. Halloween is fast approaching, and these free designs were from another website I recently posted a link to in our Facebook group, The Digital Quilting Bee. If you don't already join, I'll have information at the end of this video to link you to the group. Look us up and join us today. These images were FCM files or Native Brother Scan and Cut files, but you can easily turn these images into a motif that you can use in Electric Quilt if you don't have the cutting machine or the software to do it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to create these in Electric Quilt. This is the opening screen in EQ8. We're going right into work on a block. We're going to create a new block and we're going to use the choose applique on the tool ribbon, and we're going to select motif. We're just drawing a simple motif, so we don't need the extra background fabric. Okay, I'm going to click import image, and this file pops up. It's a JPEG picture of the files that come in the download. We're going to use that file thinking that you don't have any other software, and we're going to isolate or crop out that little cat. So with the corner button, I dragged on that, my left key I'm holding down on my mouse, and I'm going to narrow in on that cat. Okay, I don't need these words, so let's grab the node in the bottom and crop up, and that looks good. We'll go ahead and click on our slider bar to make this image just a little bit lighter and click OK. So there's our outline of our cat, and we're ready to get started. Now we're going to go back to our drawing tools on the ribbon, and we're going to click on the little pencil and start drawing. So what you want to do is left click, hold that key down, come up to the corner and let go. Don't move your pencil. Go ahead and release the button and click again, hold, and let go. We want to go in the opposite direction, and don't worry that you're getting off. We can come back and correct any of these lines that we've missed. I'll show you how. So we're changing directions at the top of the ear. You should have released your mouse. Now we're going to press down again. So you'll continue on in the same fashion. You'll know that when you release the mouse button, you get the little diagonal nodes, and it's surrounding your entire design. Not moving your mouse again, we're going to depress the left key and close and release. Drag and release. Down, release, click, release, around, and you'll see our little line just clicks, release. Going to reposition my mouse and go right back where I started, around, release. When the line starts to get off, you'll soon get the hang of this tool. You'll see if you bend too far, it wants to start changing. So that's why you need to stop, release, click, and down, getting the arch, release, click, around that tail, release, click. And it just takes a little practice. Don't worry, we can correct any malformations. When you need to start changing the direction, release the mouse key, lay it down, click down again. We'll try and get around that tail. Now we'll come back and fix that. You're changing direction, click, hold, release, click, hold, release, click, hold, release, click, hold, release. We're changing directions. If you happen to stray off, you can always connect the lines back together. Release. I'm going to go off, so I'm not going to start right where I end. You'll see what happens when you move. Your box gets smaller, doesn't it? It's not including all those previous lines that we drew. That's okay. Don't worry. Okay, come up and around. Click, hold, release. Click, hold, release. Click, hold, release. Down and around. Click, hold, release. And you may even like the shape of the cat that you created more than the shape that is already drawn that you're trying to trace. So click, hold, and release. Click, hold, and release. Now we want to go right back over where we started. Okay, and those lines connected together. But what about down here where we came apart? That's okay. Go to the Edit tool and select, and we'll get little nodes. And then all you're going to do is click on that node, left click, hold, and drag it on top. And there you'll see now our shape turned white, and we have made a closed patch, a motif. Let's go up here and fix this tail. You'll see that we get little handlebars out here. We can drag on those and change the shape. I'm going to use this point and pull up, and you'll see that our line changes. Gonna arch, come up and cover the arch of that. So you can use either hold down, drag on the nodes, or get those little handlebars. You can pull them out, down, in, out, wherever you need to move them to cover that image, the backdrop. And I think that needs a little nudge. We'll fix that tail. And I'm going to come closer. And this node I'm going to move up. You can also add nodes by clicking Add Node. So if you want to come down and square that foot off just a little bit. There we go. Looks pretty good. We've designed a cat. I want to maybe take that node and let's delete it. And let's use our handlebar on this one. That looks a little bit of a sharp curve. So we can bring this in. It just takes a little, if you haven't drawn very carefully, you can always reshape and make corrections and changes after you've drawn. Okay, looks good. Let's add that to our motif folder. Let's color it. And I've downloaded these fabrics from Moda. These are from Three Sisters Boo, I think is the name of the collection. And let's color that cat black. There we go. Let's go now to our quilt work table, and to make this runner we'll go to New Quilt, and I set this up with our horizontal blocks, and I did 1 and 3, whoops, 3 across, 3 down, so 1 horizontal, 3 vertical. And we're going to make our blocks 9 inches. Looks good, looks good. And borders. I used the space squares, and you'll see I have 3 and 3. I want to change those horizontal blocks. I only want 1. Okay. And now let's go to design and bring up our motifs. There's our cat. Just drag him over. Need to be on layer 2. And I'll need to resize him and move him around, so use your adjust tool. You can either use your box, your crop box, to drag it around, or you can change the position, the XY axis, and the size of the cat by clicking on these boxes. Remember to have your aspect ratio checked so that we don't get a distorted kitty. And that looks good. I'm going to copy that cat, and then we'll move that cat into place in the lower block. I'll go back to set block. I drew a pumpkin and with the same tools from the same handout. We're going to put that in the middle, and then I'll color using my fabric tools and my fabrics that I've downloaded and uploaded for this project, and I'll color in my quilt. And here's the quilt all colored in. You'll see that I swapped my cat around. I used my adjust tools to flip the cat and put the little pumpkin in, and use the Motif fabrics to color the quilt. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video on how I drew a motif if you don't have the Brother cutting machine. Learn more from the social media groups. The Digital Quilting Bee is a message board where we share different quilting ideas from different digital quilting programs that we own. I also have a Facebook group, the Digital Quilting Bee. If you haven't joined, look us up and join today. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and contact me through my website, or drop me an email at kksews.kksquiltstudio.com. And until we meet next time, I wish you happy quilting.